The Propcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5, $50 bonus funds. Use a promo code SGPN.
And Peggy to shot the ground downfield. He gets the catch, and he gets in for the touchdown. The catch is made by Calvin Ridley. Wilson, as he throws.
And welcome, everybody, to the Propcast, here to break down the first week of the NFL season. I'm your host, Scott Rochelle, once again joined by Adam Roseberg. We are, of course, doing the Prop Show on the MLB Show. But you know what? It is football season. We have also switched gears. Don't worry, we are still doing the baseball shows a couple times a week, but now it's football time. So, Adam, I know your team is playing right now. Pretty fun first half. How's it going with you? You excited for football season?
I am excited. I just lost the one baseball play I had today on a Bobby Witt home run just now, which it's weird. I've been waiting for that guy to homer. But yeah, we're here for football. It is good. We need this Eagles team to make some stops, but look,
as long as they don't sit on anybody, they might have a chance, you know?
The easy chalk is hitting Saquon TDs, Hurts TDs.
No targets for A.J. Brown. You know, the usual stuff.
That's kind of weird, right?
Very, very, very weird. But they can't rush the passer anyway, so I don't know if it matters. But Either way, a point is fun first half. Hopefully the rest of the season's as fun as this game. But either way, of course, we are going to be switching gears, talking about the games that have not started yet for the actual season. But as a reminder that before we actually get into any of the props for week one, first of all, the format. If you do follow the baseball show, we are going to go with the same format, 3 props each. We'll do some miscellaneous stuff. Then we'll do a best bets and an underdog segment. But a reminder as well that you can also check out the different contests that we have, as there's a free roll football contest, which is back. Free to enter. You're picking every game, ATS, $3K for first place, $4K if you're a Patreon member. Sign up at sportsgamebox.com/freeroll. Plus, we have a nice discount for the merch store. Check out the merch with promo code football at checkout to get a quarter off everything. So check out this podcast merch, check out the MLB Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, etc. A lot of shows in the network, a lot of shows have merch discounted for everything if you use code football at checkout. Plus, a reminder, check out the Survivor Contest, $100 entry fee, winner take all. Sign up at sportsgamebox.com/survivor. So, time to get into the actual props that we have for week one. Adam, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your first prop for week one?
Before we do that, so that people can actually watch this, I'm going to ask you live right now to tweet out the link to the YouTube on the Propcast Twitter, because we made the move and no one can see us.
Okay, fair enough. I will do that now. So let me just get on that.
Say something clever.
Actually, do you want me to do it on the Propcast one or just on my own Twitter?
No, do it on the Propcast one. That's where we're on.
No, I'm saying I could tweet out the Propcast link from my account with more followers on.
Just retweet it then. All
right, that's fine. Works for me. All right, well, anyway, you can do your first prop while I take care of that.
Okay, so my first prop, I can't believe I lost that play.
Witt doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, he really doesn't. I've been waiting for him to hit a home run all week. I almost took him tonight, and I was like, I like this instead. All right, anyway, the irony in Bobby Witt hitting that home run and Kyle Hendricks not hitting his over-earned runs, right? Okay. That being said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go with the first play is going to be, there we go. We got people coming in. First play is going to be Brock Purdy to throw an interception. And let me get the price on that, because I think the price got better than what I have. It is minus 105 in some places. Brock Purdy, very famous Mr. Irrelevant, got paid this offseason. The Niners, by the way, CMC showed up on the injury report today, so that could change some of their game plan. They're going to Seattle to start off. They are highly, highly talented this offseason. They kind of seem like the darlings with the easy schedule that they have. They don't play any playoff teams. But Seattle is not an easy place to play, and it's since 2017, only 3 games between these two opponents have been settled by 3 points or less. Usually is way bigger than that, and this is a short 2.5-point spread. So I am going to go with, though, Brock Purdy. I like Seattle in this. I like Seattle straight up. I like them at home to make life miserable. Trent Williams is 37 years old. That is pretty old in tackle terms. So give me Brock Purdy to throw an interception. He had a bunch last year. As we're looking at it, he had 1, 2. Well, in games he had him in half the games last year, but he had double-digit interceptions last year. And against these Seahawks, he has thrown interceptions in 3 out of the last 4. So, the Seahawks forced interceptions last year against 60% of quarterbacks that they faced, which is, I think, pretty impressive. So, give me Brock Purdy to make some mistakes. Going to be throwing an interception.
Yeah, it always feels like these Niners-Seahawks games get a bit weird, and that can result in a questionable decision by Purdy, which we saw more of last year compared to the previous year. So I can get behind that. I do think Seattle can generate some pressure, force a bad decision or two, and they can capitalize on that. So there you go. For my first prop on the show, I decided to go very degen for my props in honor of the return of the Propcast and in honor of the network. So I'm going to go with the same game. Give me Zach Charbonnet. I'm going to go with the longest reception prop. Because why not? Give me the over 6.5 yards at minus 115. Last year, he was an absolute monster at going over this number. He went over this longest reception number in 15 of 17 games last season. He went over in both games against the Niners. The Niners also gave up a ton of receptions to opposing running backs last season, as they allowed 4.8 receptions per game to opposing running backs, which did rank the 11th most in the league. A reminder that Greenlaw, Hufanga are not there. They have a bit of a different defense, probably worse than it was previously.
I would argue, and no depth.
No depth at all, and we know Seattle's not afraid of actually giving Charbonnet a lot of usage alongside Kenneth Walker, so I don't see him being, I'd say, the de facto number 2. You could argue it might be an even split. We'll see. Probably a bit more Walker, but Charbonnet gets all the passing downs. They throw him a screen pass or 2 every game. Check down on 3rd and long. Really a couple ways to get there. But 6.5 when he's gone over this in 15 of the last 17 games, I think it's a great price at minus 115. Give me Charbonnet, longest reception, over 6.5 yards at minus 115.
Yeah, last season, more than half of running backs that faced the Niners went over their longest reception. I thought that this number was bonkers. I talked to you about it the other night. I like his receptions. I also think that Kenneth Walker appears to sometimes be made of glass. And they also just love Charbonnet, like Zach Charbonnet. Like they're constantly trying to get him involved. This is literally just him getting a first down. His average depth of target last year was 7, and this is less than that. So give it to me. Yeah, I love this play.
That's how I feel. But either way, once again, that's my first prop for the show and for the season. Adam, what's going to be your second player prop for week 1?
Second player prop for week 1, we're going to turn back the clock and take an older quarterback that may have found the fountain of youth last year. People still think he stinks, but we're going to let this guy cook. That guy is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's when I took it earlier, that number is wrong. But I took it earlier and it was plus 168. Let me just double check it. Russ Wilson. Plus 162. I do not know why this is plus money. He just wants to throw moon balls, and he's got Malik Neighbors who would love to catch those. Malik Neighbors did tons of things last year with absolutely no quarterbacks. So give me Russell Wilson, who, by the way, has traditionally owned this Washington team. He had in his 3 matchups against them in his career, 2, 3, and 3. He had 3 last year as a member of the Steelers. This Washington defense also, they didn't upgrade anybody in their secondary. What's his name? Marshawn Lattimore I would argue, is slightly washed. Yeah, falls down a lot. I don't know who this other guy is. Who is it? Mike Sandstrill. Like their entire secondary is terrible. Everybody on PFF has this rated as a 60 or below, which if you care about nerd stuff like I do, I care about that. At any rate, give me Russ Wilson at plus money for 2 passing touchdowns in a very clearly built to pass first offense. Like, let's do this, man.
Yeah, I think I can get behind that as well. What was the price you said on that?
Plus 162.
Yeah, fun price. I can get behind that.
Yep.
But I know we also are a little bit, I don't want to say fully down on the Commanders, or maybe we partially are, but
we're fully down. We're fully down on the Commanders.
This defense could be a serious problem, and I feel like nobody's really talked about it because I know the offense with them getting, of course, Scary Terry back. They ended up, of course, still having Daniels, etc. Eckler, new RB1, but the defense is just not great in the secondary, and that could be a serious problem all season long. So, yeah, I agree with you, and Wilson does throw a pretty moonball, even if he might be washed in his own right. Anyway, before we get into my second prop for the show, A reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is MyBookie.ag. Use them to bet on football, college football. Use the prop builder, second to none. And you can also check out really any sport they have, as it goes with their motto. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Yeah, it kind of sounds like us, doesn't it? But either way, point is deposit or get payouts with crypto. And remind you can also use the promo code SGPN for 100% betback bonus to $500 for new customers. MyBookie.ag promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they have a lot of great models for you, for college football, for the NFL, for WNBA, for MLB. You really just name it. They have a bunch of different sports available to you. They also have a leaderboard system with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. The picks don't even have to win. Just track your plays, and you could enter the actual giveaway. $1,000 giveaway. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model that you build. It can win $1K. And also, check out the free trial that we have for a week with Rhythm, with the promo link that we have. Go to sportsgamblingbox.com's Rhythm to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Once again, went through the first couple plays for Week 1. Time to move on into my second prop for Week 1. So I'm going to go with one of my favorite types of props. I'm going to go with a kicker prop because you know I'm a big fan of kickers. Give me Fairbairn. I'm going to go with this over 1.5 field goals at even money. I'm kind of shocked it's even money. Now, the Cowboys last year, we know, attempted a ton of field goals. Shout out to Aubrey with 2 field goals in the first half already this season, and he's on my fantasy team. But you know what number 2 was?
Smoking it.
Yeah, we do decimal point kicking in my league, too, so I drafted Aubrey early just so I can get the decimal points. But I'll ask you, though, do you know which team was number 2 in the league in field goal attempts per game?
Yeah, I hate to say, sorry to interrupt all this, but the mystery parlay, one of the legs was Bobby Witt home run. And everything hit except for Kyle Hendricks earned runs. This would have been $1,000.
You had the under on the earned runs or the over?
No, I had the over. It would have been a grand for us.
What, so you had Witt home run in there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But whatever. We gave it a good run, I guess. It means you saw the board well, so that counts.
What's that?
It means you saw the board well.
I usually do.
No, I'm just saying. You picked a home run call. It just, once again, didn't work out.
Parlay. Anyway.
Do you want to guess which team number 2 in field goal attempts last year?
Cleveland Browns. Who is it?
I'll give you a hint. It's literally involving the player that I'm talking about for a prop.
Oh, is it our boy Kai?
Texans. It's the Houston Texans.
Is it our boy Kai Fairbairn?
Yes, it is. I'm going once again with his field goals here, but the Texans were number 2 in the league in field goal attempts per game. Fairbairn also made at least 2 field goals in 15 of 19 games last season. He had a bit of a rough stretch to end last season, but the attempts are there. With a defensive-minded head coach, they can get pretty conservative on 4th down, and they do kick a lot. Once again, a reminder, this game's going to be in a dome, so weather should not be a factor in this one. I have to go with the actual volume. Fairbairn attempts a ton, and I do think that the Rams' defense, which was decent last year at allowing field goals, kind of middle of the pack, but the Texans kick so often, it's even money. I'll take it. Once again, 15 of 19 games last year he went over, and it's even money in the dome. Give me Fairbairn over 1.5 field goals at plus 100. So that's my thoughts. You have anything?
They're also in a dome. So, so I like it. I mean,
anytime I take these kicking props, I usually try to avoid weather at all costs.
Good to know.
Because it's one less variable to worry about.
Good to know.
It's a great combo. You have a team that kicks a bunch and weather's not a factor. So I'll go with it.
I like it.
So even money. Kind of surprised, even money. But either way. Anyway, moving on to your third prop for Week 1. What do you like?
All right. So the third one that I'm going to go with here, let me just pull this up. It is, all right, well, so I don't know if you've been paying attention, but guess who's back? Guess who's back in Cleveland as a starting quarterback?
I believe some people would argue that he's elite.
Joe Flacco.
Name another guy who has the Comeback Player of the Year award.
He beat a dead guy.
Yes, he did. He literally beat a dead guy. Leading the Browns to the playoffs is more impressive than coming back from the dead on a football field.
I completely. That is what we learned.
Is what we learned. But it's Joe.
So look, there's a guy that he loved throwing to when he was on this team before that first time 2 years ago. Let me just pull it up. But he basically, there it is. All right, so. When he was on this team, he had a favorite target. You know who that favorite target was? It's David Njoku from Miami tight end. He's awesome. And in the last, they had they had 7 games together, but the last 5 is really where they clicked. He had a median yards of 90. They averaged 80 yards. He had 91, 104, 44, 134, 93. So guess what we're doing? We are going to be doing the David Njoku receiving yards ladder, because this is also going against a Bengals defense that allowed 70% of tight ends to go over their lines last year. So at the middle there, I don't know. Do you like the Bengals defense? No,
I don't think anybody does.
Okay, good. Well, then we're on the same page. Njoku's also done very, very well against this specific Bengals team. His last 2 games, he had 76 and 66 last year. So we're not going to mess around. We're just going to start this off right away and shop around, guys. But we're going to do a ladder. We're going to start it at 60 yards. I don't need to mess around. I think he has a big game. He has a big game. We're starting it with a big game. Going to go 60 yards. I got it at plus 188, and then 70 plus 290, 80 plus 430, 96.50, 100 plus 950. We're going to do that whole thing. I would also say sprinkle a little bit on the 100 yards and 2 TDs. I think this game gets bonkers. David Njoku receiving yards ladder. This is co-signed by the laddie daddy himself, CJ Sullivan. We opened up Rosenberg and Sullivan. Well, it's Sullivan and Rosenberg because he started it first. But Sullivan and Rosenberg, ladder and step stool services. This is one of our main products that will be coming out this weekend. David Njoku receiving yards ladder.
Fun fact, did you know that the first L in LLC stands for ladders? Fun fact. But anyway, just keep that in mind. I have to figure out what the second one's going to be, but that's a pretty good first one. But anyway.
That's a good joke. I like
that. It's not really fleshed out. I made that out on the fly. We can workshop it.
It'd be fleshed out, not fleshed out. Fleshed out would mean that you dunk water on it. I work in court comps, like I've heard this a lot. Yeah, no, it's fine. I know.
It's more of like a Gatorade bath if the ladder wins. That's kind of how I look at it. But either way, I can get behind that. Once again, the Bengals defense we know is not any good. Not that the Cleveland defense should be great either. So this game might feature a bunch of points. You also get the Flacco garbage time, which is a lot of fun too. Who's the backup again? Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun with that. I think Flacco might throw the ball 50 times in this game, so you might get a bunch of usage. The garbage times might be incredible for Flacco in this game, but
he is. That's a secondary. That's his second job. Before he was a quarterback, he was a garbage man.
Yes, it's better than being a grocery store guy. Shout out to Kurt Warner. But either way, moving on to my third prop for the show, I'm going to go with a really random deep dive receiver who I actually kind of liked last year for props. I'll go back to him. Let me go to the Jacksonville game against Carolina. Give me Parker Washington. Give me the over 11.5 receiving yards at minus 118. Fun fact, you might not have known is an NFL player, but I'm telling you right now he is, so take my word for it. He was actually decent last year. For starters, he actually played a lot of snaps to end last season, played with 80% of the offensive snaps in 5 of the last 6 games. They got Travis Hunter, who's in his first ever NFL game, who might be playing both sides of the ball. I don't know how many snaps he's going to play. The point is you might see Washington play a bit more early as Hunter gets up to speed with the actual NFL life. We'll see. But the point is Washington, he got some compliments from the offensive coordinator during the training camp preseason. They praised his ability to create separation in training camp. And the fact is his receiving yards are available at 13.5 at some spots. Found at 11.5. It's at minus 118. But overall, he's a pretty decent big play intermediate guy. One catch probably gets it done. And I'll ask you, because you asked me about the Cincinnati defense, do people like Carolina's defense going to the season?
Yeah.
They do.
They do, but the problem is that their offense probably doesn't move the ball very well, so their defense will have to be out there a lot.
So I actually looked up some Pro Football Focus stuff, and Pro Football Focus hates their defense. I'm a little bit higher on their defense because there was a lot of injuries, but again, I think their defense is going to have to take a lot of snaps, which is never good. I was high on the Eagles. I was high on the Eagles defense, and they haven't had to stop all night. I want to say it was either their secondary or their defensive line or both, but Pro Football Focus was underwhelmed by both units. So we'll see how the defense looks, but still the point is I do kind of like the hire from Jacksonville, getting an offensive-minded coach who did wonders with Baker Mayfield. I think he can do some similar things here with Trevor Lawrence. But I do think that Washington, who is technically wide receiver 3 or maybe even 4, might get more usage. I'll ask you, though, about Travis Hunter. Do you expect a ton of workload for him playing both sides of the ball in his first ever game? Probably not.
Probably not. They're probably not going to burn him out on both sides. I think he's also starting his first game at home, so they'll probably do some things that are kind of big. But generally on offense, he's going to be doing gimmick plays.
That's kind of my point. So I think that Washington might get more usage than people think. And it seemed like he got used decent amount last year. It's only 11.5. That's one catch over the middle. That's completely fine. Give me Parker Washington over, once again, 11.5 yards at minus 118 as my final prop for the show. Now, moving on to something we do in the baseball show that we're going to also do here, the miscellaneous section. I couldn't really find a catchy phrase for now. I got bonus bets as the only thing I came up with for now.
Yeah, we got to figure out, what do we want to call this bit-wise?
It depends on the sponsor that we don't have yet, but we'll figure it out.
But we got to figure out. We got to find a way to make it about the DPs or something like that.
We'll figure it out. The point is, for now, it's the bonus bet segment. So I'll ask you. You already mentioned a ladder. I already mentioned a field goal kicking prop. Anything else you want to mention that's kind of unorthodox?
By the way, yeah, Pat, I do like his receptions, but I'd rather start with the plus money on the receiving yards. Anyway, the main one, you and I talked about this. There's a play that's tomorrow night that you and I really like, and that is longest field goal under 50.5 yards in the Chargers-Chiefs game. It's minus 120. So the reason why you and I like this, and I'm going to speak for you, is because Dicker, Cameron Dicker, the Chargers kicker, has never attempted a field goal of longer than 50 yards outdoors. It's supposed to be humid. We know how bad the field conditions were last year. Neither team last year, and the Packers-Eagles, attempted a field goal longer than 38 yards. We actually had a 38-yard miss. This bet is on Harrison Butker, who was injured twice last year, is getting older, has been not as lights out as he's been in the past. Again, I think kind of this team's probably going to pass on each other. It's basically a bet, I think, on him hitting one more than 50, and I'll take this. So we have that under 50.5 as the longest field goal.
It's such a sneaky angle too.
It was you and I were very excited when we found it last night.
If you don't know, by the way, besides doing the show, it's not like we don't talk to each other and we just come together to record a show. We basically brainstorm plays every day, all day. So we had
except for when you sleep.
Yeah, correct. But we had a brainstorming session last night, so we came up with that one. So we were a fan of it.
Yeah, let me see. What did you have another one, and then I can give out something too?
Well, I know that was the main one that we ended up having. I ended up giving out Charbonnet, which I did like. I'm kind of surprised Charbonnet receptions, by the way. The over 1.5 plus money, which I don't really understand at all. But
for his receptions?
Yeah, 1.5 is like plus 105.
Very
I don't really get. But that's another one I'm also tempted by too. But that's not really something unique. I was going to ask, though, if you had to go for any other potential ladders, other matchups you like, maybe a touchdown. Are there any touchdown guys that you're potentially targeting for the?
I don't want to stay to tomorrow, but I like Kareem Hunt tomorrow, plus 370.
Yeah,
I think that's a good one.
Well, I know you also were interested in a potential play on Rodriguez, which
I don't want to So this is another one that is co-signed with the Laddie Daddy. I like Chris Rodriguez rushing ladder. There's a lot of guys that we don't know really what their usage is going to be.
Yeah, and
they're really low. So his baseline is 30 yards, and I mean, Eckler's made of glass, dude. So I mean, I know everyone loves Bill Krosky and whatever, but he's still a 7th round pick.
What, you mean number 4 on the depth chart?
I don't.
The guy who was hyped up to be the number 4 on the depth chart.
They said that they said they're going to ride They said they're going to ride all these different dudes and ride the hot hand. So let's see what they do with it. But I like the Rodriguez ladder too. I think generally speaking, I think that's probably not a terrible play. I haven't looked at the touchdowns because the market just fluctuates so much. Yeah, we still have a full additional day of. I'm just looking up touchdown prices right now. We have a full additional day of practice, so we can kind of see how things operate there. Let me just scan through right now. I'll do it right now, just for everybody who's here.
By the way, if you were curious, Njoku touchdowns plus 250.
I like it. I love it.
That one I would have also considered giving out, but you gave out the ladder. But same idea.
Yeah, same idea. Let's see. Who else is a good one here? Touchdowns. There's that. Let's do the over. Okay, so let's see. Who are some prices that stand out? Justin Fields. I like him to touchdowns. I think that's all they're going to do. Man, all these prices are kind of nuked.
Honestly, I'll make an argument for somebody that's random. He's on a new team, but I'll still make an argument for it.
Sure.
I don't mind Cooper Kupp at plus 250.
I like that.
250 feels pretty high. We just said a second ago we're a bit lower on this Niners defense. You can argue maybe they'll give him a red zone target. Kupp's always been filthy in the red zone anyway. So I don't mind plus 250.
I know I gave out his interception, but Brock Purdy plus 650 for a touchdown is great. He had 5 of them. He had 5 of them last year, and Christian McCaffrey showed up on the injury report today.
Already, which is hilarious, by the way.
Which is hilarious. As I'm looking through this.
But once again, looking at some longer shot guys, and Njoku I like, and I think Kupp at 250. He might be washed, we'll see. But the fact is, he's still going to be wide receiver 1 or 2 on that offense, and he's always been a red zone demon. So I don't mind Kupp for a touchdown in that game.
Let me see if I can find a good bomb here.
That was on DraftKings, by the way.
Yeah. Most of the better. I'm finding a lot of the better prices are on DraftKings.
You like Metcalf at 2-1?
I don't like a lot of scoring in that game. That's not on the ground.
There probably won't be. Totals are like 38.5.
Let's see.
I mean, we already mentioned Kareem Hunt. That is a pretty big choice.
That's a pretty big one. Let me just look through this. Penix. Some of these prices are a little bit there. Troy Franklin, Burton, Sean Tucker, Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler to score a touchdown is interesting. It's 6-1 on a team that stinks and is going to be running for his life.
I don't know. I feel like the Saints moves to take the backup tight end or some random wide receiver 3 because nobody knows what the hell that team's even.
You know what I like? I like Bryce Young. Bryce Young is plus 550 for a touchdown. Jacksonville gave up a pretty solid amount to QBs last year, and he finished the year pretty strong. Let me just see if there's any other people in here that have like really good prices that have good history against these other teams. Like Jonnu Smith, if he finds a role, is someone who's there. Oh, you know what I like? I like Rashad Bateman on Sunday night. That'll be a good one. So, yeah, just throwing a couple of them out there. We're gonna figure it out. Maybe next show, what we'll do is we'll come with a TD parlay or something like that for the peoples.
Yeah, that works.
Jake Elliott just drilled a 58-yarder, dude.
Yeah, I saw that. Absolutely drilled the hell out of it. But either way, they're up 4 at the moment. Yeah, once again, that's going to wrap it up for our touchdowns. It's going to be a pretty interesting week 1 because I'm sure a lot of people are trying to see how certain players fit in with their new situations, etc. But either way, I think you could get some great prices if you choose wisely. Anyway, time to move on into our best bets and the underdog entry. Before we get into the underdog entry, though, reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Underdog Fantasy, because you can do the Best Ball Mania. Actually, you can't, so I'm going to skip that part because it ended already. But you can also do pick'ems. Yeah, you can do pick'ems. It's over. Yeah, pick'em entries. Win up to 500 times your money. We'll give out one in a second. They also have a new offer for new customers. Play just $5, $50 bonus funds. Use promo code SGPN. Also, check out Novig, which is a sports prediction market, #1 in America. And since Novig is an exchange, they'll get better prices than sports books. It's available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app now. Spend $5, get $50 bonus funds. And a reminder, you could also use promo code SGPN to actually access that deal. So get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Time to get into our best bets for the show. Adam, what was your favorite play out of the 3 you talked about?
Probably that Njoku ladder.
Okay, there you go. So Njoku ladder is going to be yours. I am pretty torn between Fairbairn and Charbonnet. I'll go Charbonnet at 6.5. I just think it's too short. At the end of the day, the Seahawks are also not afraid of checking down random screen passes. There's a lot of ways Charbonnet gets there. And I think people overestimate the usage that Kenneth Walker gets in comparison to Charbonnet. Charbonnet is a pretty key piece of this offense. So I don't mind Charbonnet longest reception.
They love him, dude. He's not.
They do.
Yeah.
He's a good player. So there you go. But point is, give me the over 6.5 yards for his longest reception at -115. Now for the underdog entry, what do we want to do for underdog?
Well, by the way, the short answer on why I'm into Russ is because Ryan, Josephine, Kramer got in my head.
Yeah.
I know way too many Giants and Russ stats because of him. Okay, so underdog. Let's put some things together. So I had there's a play on underdog that I do like. I like Brock Purdy. I like his over rushing attempts.
Okay.
I like Brock Purdy over rushing attempts, and I like an alt. Let's do this as a 2-leg. I like a Brock Purdy over higher 3.5 rushing attempts, and Zach Charbonnet higher 9.5 receiving yards. It just has to get 10.
Okay.
3.3, but it's a 2-leg. Simple, easy. Start the season. Underdog.
All right, that works for me.
Cool. That's
cool.
Good. I actually took it yesterday, so we can count it. So I can do it.
Yeah, that's fine. All good.
Cool. But it's plays that we like for it. But it's like an alt, and it's based off plays that we've already talked about. So I like it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. Once again, that's going to wrap it up, though, for the Propcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I know that the channel's been kind of AFK lately, but we're officially bringing it back, so get excited.
What's AFK mean?
Away from keyboard.
Oh, is that? Oh, wow. Okay.
It's fine. All good. It's after your time. It's fine.
Well, way after my time.
Either way, it's not JFK, it's AFK. But either way, point is we'll be doing an episode every week for the NFL schedule. So strap in. A reminder as well, we do have the baseball prop show 3 times a week. So check that out too. We have an episode tomorrow morning if you want to check out some baseball props. Either way, though, find me on Twitter, Radio. Find him on Twitter at, once again, here Rosenberg. And until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.